Yeah, good morning, folks. It's the San Jacinto Trail Report. Just after 10 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, the 14th of April 2026, here at San Jacinto Peak. And as you might be able to notice, we picked up another couple of inches of snow overnight at this elevation. I just want to keep this brief just to be able to update the PCTers who I know are in the area primarily. So we had hail down as low as Idlewild, down to about 5,000 feet. So it can be icy as low as there. Snow above about 6,000. This morning I measured 1.5 inches at Humber Park at the Devil's Slide Trailhead. Broke trail this morning, coming up that eastern side route, Devil's Slide, Wellman Trail, Peak Trail, up to Sanjak Peak. There was actually more snow between about 8.5 and 9,500 feet, which would have been in the cloud all of yesterday. Parts of the high country were actually above the cloud for significant chunks of yesterday, which is why there's actually somewhat less snow up at this elevation. So we're looking at about 2.5 inches around the highest peaks. The most depth I measured was about 3 inches at Annie's Junction. So that's the high point of the PCT in the San Jacinto Mountains, about mile 181. Right now, I can see the Desert Divide section, so that's north from mile 160. There's a dusting around Spitler Peak and Apache Peak. That's from about mile 168 north, but it's very sparse. I mean, it's barely an inch by the looks of it. And that's very sun exposed, so a lot of that's going to melt. There was melting on my already this morning, even at 7 or 8 this morning on my way up the Wellman and Peak trails. So sun exposed areas are going to melt really quickly. So one thing I want to emphasize to PCTers is to not overreact to this snow because it's very shallow. By the time you get around Red Tuckwit, so that's mile 175, you'll be in about 2 inches of snow, and then more or less continuously between 2 and 3 inches of snow from there, 175 through to probably about mile 190. Actually probably a bit further, 192. So just north of the Fuller Ridge campground. So although Fuller Ridge has got continuous snow on it, it's no more than 2 or 3 inches. Probably most of it's only 1 or 2 inches. I'm going to head down. I'm going to break trail now down Deer Springs Trail all the way down. So I'll be able to check on that. But and certainly not expecting any more snow, any greater depths of snow than the ones I've already mentioned. In terms of traction conditions, I came up in a pair of Hockers this morning without spikes. The powder's pretty soft, nice and easy going. Like I say, not particularly deep. So on trails where tracks will have been put in, which is going to be most of them pretty quickly, between the number of PCTers around and me covering some ground on the main trails. Frankly, something like spikes are probably not required. My suspicion is most hikers are going to find that spikes are not required. Between the shallow depths and the rate at which it's going to melt, it's just simply not going to be needed. But obviously it's up to everyone's individual comfort level and experience. If you're more comfortable even on shallow snow with spikes, then I recommend you use spikes. It also depends a bit on how the freeze-thaw cycles go. It is up at these highest elevations, it is going to be plus or minus either side of freezing for the next 2 or 3 days at least. So some of this stuff could harden. But again, as you can see, I mean the rocks are clearing pretty quickly. So I mean, for example, already this morning I was able to get up just the summit rocks, basically just rock hopping without really having to travel much on snow. And that's by the end of the day tomorrow. The sun exposed sections of Fuller Ridge, of Apache Peak, Spitler Peak, coming up above Saddle Junction, so miles 179 to 180, this super sun exposed areas, they're going to be clear already, or functionally clear. So if you are still 2 or 3 days away from the San Jacinto Mountains, south of the San Jacinto Mountains on the PCT, by the time you get here, you'll probably find that spikes aren't necessary. And I will be updating the trail report at sanjackjohn.com this afternoon, probably initially with a sort of quick version, and then we'll update other trails steadily over the course of the next couple of days. And safe hiking, everyone.